Okay. So we've looked at this. So once you go to dictionary, so I can't if I can call it dictionary revision. So a dictionary is like a list because it allows you to store multiple items in the same container. But the difference is that when you want to access the items in a list, you make use of what man? Each of the items. Whenever you want to access the items, you make use of the index, like index 0, index 1, index 2. But for a dictionary, when you want to access the items there, you make use of the key. The key. So when you are creating, when you want to add an item to your dictionary, you will add a key. Because when it's time to access it, you make use of the key. For instance, let's look at physical dictionary, like normal dictionary that we make use of. Let's say you want to describe, okay, good, a name of any person, animal, place, or things. You want to add it to your dictionary. Right. At the beginning, you first put noun, then you put colon, then you put the name of, so that you, that means that that is the description of what a noun is. Do you get it, man? Uh-huh. So maybe you want to add an action word, then you first put something like verb, so that you know that's what a verb is. So you see that now, or that verb that we put there, they are known as keys. So when you check that key, you will see the description of it. When you check that key, you see the description of it. So let's start. In dictionary, you can say value. You make use of curly braces like this. Hey, what, this is the key, then the value. What A is. A can be hello world. Then K, how are you doing? So this colon is used to separate a key from its value. A is a key, this is the value of that key. Then you put comma. K is a key, this is the value of that key. So whenever you want to see hello world, you go for the key. What is the key for hello world? A. So you go for A. When you check A, it's going to give you hello world. When you check K, it's going to give you how are you doing. So when it's time to print it, you mention the name of the dictionary, which is var. You now say A. That will give us hello world. Any question, man? Okay. Let's run it together. Well, that's why we have this hello world. If you put K here, you will say how are you doing. So what we are just trying to do is that we are describing this var. We are saying that this var has A, and this is the value of the A for var. This value has K, this is the value of the K for var. You can change this A from hello world maybe to I. To change that, I can say var A equals to I. Do you get this, man? So if you change the value of A from hello world, or from whatever might be there, to I. So when we're playing this, you will see I instead of hello world. Any question, man? Okay. Let's proceed now. So this is you cannot, instead of making this static, I don't want it to be static. I want it to be dynamic. I want the user to be able to add the value for a. So I can say maybe my var equals to input, enter the So when we run this code, it's first initially to start with this, it will create a dictionary called var. It will have a and the value will be hello world. It will have k, the value will be how are you doing. When it gets to this point, it will tell the user enter the value for a. Whatever the user enters becomes my var. So at this point now, it goes to the dictionary, look for the key called a, and set the value to my var. So when you print my var now, you will see whatever the user enters here as a value of a. As a value of a. So let's say we have good morning. Good morning. A is good morning. So it's no longer hello world. I can also set a new key there called maybe C, and I can set the value to what do you say, man? Hello, man. Are you with me, man?
It's breaking, sir.
Okay, man. Let me refresh.
It's breaking.
Okay. So this is what I was trying to explain. We have this dictionary. We have a key called A and the value is hello world. We have another key called K and the value is how are you doing. So when it gets here, it will tell the user enter the value for A. Whatever the user enters becomes my var. So at this point, we now say the dictionary, we are targeting the A. We are changing the value of A to my var. So that means the value of it becomes whatever the user entered here. So when you print var now, you're going to see everything inside var, which is A and the value entered here, then K, which is how are you doing. Any question on that, man? So you have happy weekend. How are you doing?
I don't think I got replacing it.
Huh?
We're just replacing my var with A.
No, we are changing my it's not replacing my var with A. What is doing is that if you go to this dictionary var, it will look for A inside of it, which is this. It will set the value to my var. It will change the value from whatever might be there to my var. Do you get it, man?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it goes to the dictionary, look for the key called A, changes the value to my var. Now the good thing is that even if that key does not exist, you know, inside this we only have A and K.
Yeah.
Even if the key does not exist, it will create it itself. If it exists, it will replace it. If it does not exist, it will create it. That is, it will add it to this place. Do you get it, man? So it will put whatever value we want to put there also. Let's say we want it to be today is Saturday. Today is Saturday. So it will go to var, create a new key because it's not there. It will create a new key called C, and the value will be today is Saturday. So you can see C is there now. Today is Saturday. Any question? You may also wish that the users will be the ones to enter this today is Saturday. That becomes so whatever the user enters becomes, it will be inserted into this place. Of course, we can also do the same here. Instead of splitting it into multiple lines, we can do the same thing. Yeah, like this, so that we don't need to first create any variable called my var. We can just do it like this. Let's say hi, hello. So A is I, C is hello. Do you get it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But you may want a situation whereby you want this A and C to be dynamic. In fact, you want the keys to be dynamic. What I mean is this. The values are dynamic because the values of A and the value of C becomes whatever the user entered here.
Yeah.
So you also want these keys to be dynamic. That is, the keys to be whatever the user wants. You know, at the moment, the key will always be A, K, and C, because that is what we put in our own codes. Only the values change. Only these values, I, hello, only those ones change. But the keys will still always be A, K, C, because those are the ones in our codes. Do you get
Yeah.
it? So you also want those values, those keys to be dynamic, to be something that can change, to be something that users can enter what they want. If I want this to be B, if the user wants this key to be B instead of A, you want that to be possible. If the user wants this to be C, to be maybe Z instead of A, you want that to be possible. Whatever the user wants the key to be, the user can set that. That's what we want to do next. So, what we're going to do is this. Let's look at this part. You know, if you say var A, what it's going to do is that if you go to var, it will change the value of A to whatever we put here, Abby.
Yeah.
But if it does not exist, it will create it itself. If A does not exist, it will create A.
Itself.
Yes, ma'am. But if A exists, it will change the value of A. So, but instead of writing A, we now put a variable there. That is, I can put a variable, let me just say tire equals to anything. So, I'll come here and put tire here. It is not in quotes. If it is in quote like this, if it's in quote like what it's going to do here is that it will go to this var, it will create a new key called tire, and the value will be I. Did you get this, man? But instead of this, if it's like a variable, if it's a variable like this, you know, whenever you call on a variable, it will put the value of that variable there, right?
That is high.
Are you following me?
It changed anything to high.
No, so what it's going to do is that it will put the value of tire. So this is like saying for anything equals to this is what it's going to do for me now, because whenever I call on tire, it will put the value there, which is anything. Do you understand? Okay, you don't get it. Let me explain something that will make you understand it. If I say v equals to 8 and I say print v, if I run this part, what will it give me?
8.
No, it will not give me 8. It will give me text v.
It's a print
V as a text. V as a text. Because it's in quotes. Abina.
Yes.
Okay. But if I have this, what will this give me?
8.
Good, thank you. So that means that whenever I have B, it will always put 8. If I say print V plus 2, that's going to give me what?
10.
10. Exactly. Any questions to that part? No?
Yeah.
So that means that when you have a variable, whenever you call on that variable, it will put the value of that variable there. It will put the value of that variable there. So that's what is happening here. If it's like this, it's going to go to var, create a key called taye, and the value will be high. But if it's like this, you go to var, look for the value of taye. The value of taye is anything. Do you understand? So if you put this anything and place it inside this place, so that it becomes like this now. Oops. Do you get it? Since taye is anything, that means that whenever I call on taye, it will actually be anything. So to create a key inside this place now called anything, and the value is I. I don't know if you get it.
That's okay.
Okay, good. So it will create a key here called anything, and the value will be high. So let's run these parts now. Print over. There, some of this. We can even remove these ones for now. You can see that we don't have a key here called anything, and the value of that is I. If this is patience, it is going to put the value of taye, which is patience, it will put it A, and the value will be I. That's why we have patience, I. Any question on that?
No, sir.
Okay, let's continue. So, instead of now add coding this patience, we can get it from user. Input, enter the key. Enter the key. So, whatever the user enters, remember I told you that anything coming from an input is a string. Is a string. Anything coming from an input is a string. Good. So that means that if the user entered Peter here, taye will be Peter. That will now be var Peter equals to I. Did you get it, man? Let's say the user entered Peter here. That's why we have Peter. Hi.
I want to ask a question.
Okay, man.
Why do you keep using val? Is it like anything as well, or that's what it's supposed to be?
No, because that's the name of this dictionary. We are putting this value inside this dictionary. So you know, here.
You must have the string text and the key and the value. Both the key and the value must have the indentation.
The quotation.
Quotation mark.
The key must, right? At least in most cases, the key must. The value depends on the data type. if I want to put age is an integer, so you don't need to. But the key, you put it in quotes like this. Although some people make use of integer as the key, and if you are using integer as the key, you don't need to put it in quote in quotes, right? It will work, but I don't like it. Being that if I want to use integer as the key, then why not use lists instead of dictionary? Why not use list instead of dictionary? So I don't like using integer as a key. I want most times, of course, all times, I want my keys to be a string. So that's why I said for most times your key will be a string. The key you're going to be working with will be a string. The values can now be of any data type based on the data you are storing there. So we get the value we get this from user is becomes Taye. Then we say var Taye is going to take whatever we put here, put it inside this place, then equals to whatever value you put here. So if you also want the value to be dynamic, you can say input enter the value. So whatever the user enters here becomes the key and equals to whatever the user enters here, which will be the value. Enter the key, let's say John. Enter the value, let's say my name is John. My name is John. So we have a key called John and the value is my name is John. Question now.
Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Do you have any questions?
Okay, because I can't hear you.
Okay, ma'am. I'm asking if you have any question. Okay, ma'am. Assignments. You need to have an empty dictionary like this.
Going to have an empty dictionary like that.
Yes, ma'am. Initially, you will now tell the user. You say, enter. Okay, tell the user. Do you want to add values to your dictionary? 1 for yes, 2 for no. So when the user entered 1, meaning that the user wants to add values or like add items to the dictionary, you tell the user enter the key. So the user will enter the key. Then you tell the user enter the value. The user will enter the value. Let's assume the key entered is okay, sorry, let me call this person. You have an empty dictionary, so which is person. When I say enter the key, let's assume the user entered name here. I said the user entered name here, and here the user entered, let's say Tolu here. So meaning that I'm saying that go to the dictionary person, add name, I add a key called name and add a value called Tolu. So I will print person. You print the dictionary when you are done. When you print person, then I'm going to see that dictionary. That is, I'm going to see something that looks like this. Name. Yes. Tolu. Do you get this, man? So I ask the user again, do you want to add another key? 1 for yes, 2 for no. If the user entered 1, you do this again. You say enter key. The user now might enter department. For the value, the user might enter computer science. So it will add it as when I say print person, it's going to print. So, you know, we added name initially. So now it's going to look like this. So now as the user, do you want to and as the user do you want to enter another key? You user enter yes. You done this part again. Enter the key, the user will enter the key of choice, enter value, then you say command, the key, like it's going to add another key here again, the key and its value, on and on, like that. But when the user says no, that I'm no longer entering anything, just say bye, and that will be the end. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So we stop here today.
Alright, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Have a nice day, man. Wonderful weekend.
You too.